Hi, everyone. Thanks so much for joining me today. Um, I'm going to start with an oracle card reading. I'm choosing this from the Tree Angel deck, and I just feel that's what I need to do today to give us a reading. And so we'll hold the intention of a card for what we need today as we're entering both the full moon energy this week and as we have the month of August here and Leo energies. And the moon energies are about the full moon this week is rising in Aquarius on Friday, I believe, for the Northern Hemisphere anyway. And it encourages us to look to our future, to look ahead into what what shifts do we need to make, looking inside to that future and what we want to bring into fruition or to reality in the world around us. What in our outer world is in and it will be in alignment with our inner world, and then taking steps to bring that into reality. And so today, and this energy is to bring us more clarity on what it is that needs to be shifted, what isn't meeting our needs now, or what isn't what we want to continue into the future with, and see how we can make those shifts and in alignment with our inner self, our desires and our hopes and dreams, and see what's been holding us back and what's ready to be shifted and seen. And so I have laid the cards out in front of me, and I'm picking one here. It's the apple tree. And apple harvest is starting in various places and will continue for a couple months depending on the variety of apple. So, and this goes in alignment with the season of prosperity that we're in. The universe doesn't go necessarily according to our calendar years. So, like January, March is winter and things like that. It goes according to the astrological energies, and so it's November, December, January. It would be the season of potential when you're reviewing from the past world, from the past year, and looking forward into what you want into the future, and just kind of playing out different scenarios and seeing what it is you want. And then there's the season of purpose, which is February, March, and April, and that's starting to take steps, choosing what it is from all you brainstormed about, what you want to bring into reality, and um, uh, getting ready for the year with that, which goes along with the seasons of like gardening season, the agricultural seasons. And then there's the season of power, which is May, June, and July, where things are actively growing in your garden, where you're taking steps to bring those everything you want into fruition. And then, and in each of them, there's always the time to pause and reflect and make some minor shifts and changes to see what's in alignment. And that's where we are now. This season of prosperity has started. And that's August, September, and October are the energies of Leo, Virgo, and Libra. And here we are, the apple tree card. And I'm just going to look at the card for a bit and see where spirit will guide me. She's looking at one, getting close to eat one apple that she's looking, but it's the other one that the apple's in her hand that's drawing my eye. She has an apple in her other hand, and there's streams of light that seem to be tying it to the earth, um, which for me signifies the inner grounding and the inner um, ties, the inner clarity that we're looking for in our inner world, and how in alignment with ourselves and in alignment with the universe, and receiving that all things the universe brings us is for not just for our highest spiritual good, but also for our spiritual growth and to be in, for us to have that inner alignment, but with the outer alignment with the universe as well. And the tree is just full of apples to this month of prosperity when we look to um, all our blessings, all our gifts that we have, not just our skills and our gifts that we can use, but the gifts given to us and all the abundance that the universe has and all this that we want to bring into fruition too, and how that ties in with both what's ready right now to eat as she is getting ready to eat and enjoying it now, and also then in the future. And that's what we're looking for now, is in the future, bringing clarity to that, as well as minor shifts to what we have right now. So the apple card, and I will read it here to see if there's any other highlights from the apple tree. And it says, the apple tree has given joy and brought health to human beings for thousands of years. As a member of the rose family, the apple holds the secret of earth as Rosa Mundi. The apple synchronizes perfectly with the orchestral light of the sun. It also appears in the legends of King Arthur as the guardian tree of Avalon, the Isle of Eternal Youth. We can catch a hint of this whenever we like. Imagine the moment you're just about to take a bite out of an apple. As you hold it gently in your hand, turning it over to decide which part of this beautiful fruit you're going to bite into, in that very moment, this very moment of almost ready to bite in, you are free from your entire past. When you're just in the present, there is no room for any thoughts about the future. And without any conscious effort, you find yourself deep in meditation. All that exists is the here and now, you and the apple. You have the freedom to choose the most delicious part of life itself. This is the apple's role. With it, you find your center, your inner sun, your confidence, and your self worth. Apple helps you to free yourself from guilt, burdens, and memories. Could you live this way for an entire day? So let's try to do so. The more often we step into the present moment in reflection, and is where we'll find that inner alignment and how we'll then have clarity for moving forward in the future. The more often you step through the door of the eternal present, the closer you become to Avalon, since, as the name suggests, the Isle of Eternal Youth doesn't just exist in the past. The Golden Age is far closer than you think. Huh, interesting. That when we are bereft of the blessings of the apple, or we feel that we're just not looking to those blessings and giving thanks to them and being in the present moment with those blessings, our days become fruitless. We fail to find relief from guilt and burdens and worries. We suffer from a lack of self-worth and pressures that weigh us down. The feeling that sometimes is gnawing at our bones weighs heavily on us. So um, a beautiful thought there, to be in the present moment for this inner reflection and to have that clarity in our inner world of what needs to shift and what is serving us well. And I received a download from Spirit this week. It was the shift. Excuse me, I'm going to just set that up there. I woke in the wee hours, the sacred hours of the morning, and this download came to me. I just tuned in to spirit that I felt was speaking to me, and I received information of these shifts that were in alignment with my inner being and what I needed to do next for my own inner happiness and um, for the future in setting up what needed to happen, what my subconscious, what my spirit was wanting to make happen in my life. And so one of those, I received 3 steps to do, and they all pertain to this podcast. So I just want to go over those a little bit here. The first step was that it was time for me to go solo, to be the learn to be the oracle or the receiver of messages of spirit, which I do. I receive much from spirit, and to share that with you. Um, I will still be having a guest once in a while, but I'll be much more selective in the guests that I have, and be in alignment with what guests I'll be having on the podcast. So there will be one. I'm not setting how much, maybe one a month. I do have one this month that I'm going to be doing that will be, let's see, in 2 weeks from today. And that will be a record, that will be on a Monday evening, the 18th. But I'll also have this morning on the Tuesday morning podcast as regular also. And so that was that one. It was time to go solo to share those messages the spirit gives me, and to for me in my learning process to learn to receive and then speak it, and give it, share it. And so the second one then pertained to the free mini tuning that I have each week now. And I had been either tuning in just to the energy of whatever each the collective of whoever would listen to the mini tuning needed at that moment, and then I was just coming in with thoughts of what to use with that might be helpful also. But the change from the spirit download that I received is to that I need to make that mini tuning be according to the energies of the moon. That me and my life, and perhaps all of us in general, but for sure me and my life, need to really tune into the moon energies as part of fulfilling me, of sharing what spirit has for me and my inner self. And so those tunings on each Wednesday, and I'm changing the time to 7 p.m. Central Time instead of 6 p.m. And those tunings are going to be about the moon energy for each week, and how we can integrate and work with those moon energies instead of against them, and how that will help us. And so that's for the mini tuning on Wednesday nights. And then the another of the changes the spirit gave me for my podcast is I'll be having a once a month, or occasionally it will be twice a month when there's a blue moon or two full moons in a month. So for each full moon, I'm going to be having a tuning to tune the the energies to activate the old world energy grid system once again. It's been dormant for a long time, centuries, and at least, if not longer. And it's ready to awaken. It's ready to begin to be restored. And it might take a long, long time. But I think we'll notice within a few months, we'll notice a difference in the energies. And so it won't just be me. I'll be having other people with me, others that are either energy healers themselves, and I'll be doing tuning and dowsing while the others will be doing their energy. We'll be doing it at the same time for the most part. And then I'll also be having people as regulars on that full moon podcast to hold this strong intentions with us of this activation and restoration of the old world energy grid system. And so um, I look forward to that. And I'm hoping that everybody that can listen and tune in to that full moon tuning will hold those strong intentions with us, and that group will grow for the power of our intentions in this restoration and activation of the old world energy grid. And to me, this energy grid has 6 parts. For other people might see it other ways, but the old world, the buildings, as well as canals and trains and other things, are built in coordination with the location of ley lines across the earth. And so the ley lines are a big part of that drop the energy, the source energy from deep under the earth, and then the ley lines fuel the other energy grid across the earth, the Hartman lines and other lines that carry different energies across the earth. And so the ley lines are very important. And so then we'll be tuning the trees, the giant trees, but also um, big trees that weren't classified as the giant trees, perhaps. And then there's big trees as well as the trees now that will be used in this energy grid system. There's water. A lot of the old world buildings used water. You can see that many of them had fountains in front of those buildings, and some still do today. Some have just changed the fountains into a monument of some kind or a statue of some kind. But water was used probably in cooling and bringing extra energies and things for that energy grid. So water's the third. The fourth one is the buildings themselves were designed in many ways with the stained glass and the shapes of the architecture inside were designed to carry the energy and activate this energy grid within them. And then there's the celestial energies that are very much, especially the full moon. That's why we're doing it on the full moon. But all the astrological energies played a part in the old world energy grid system. And then the sixth one that I see as part of it very much is at the time when those buildings were built. And for me personally, I feel that the um, the ancient cathedrals, like the Notre Dame cathedrals, and some of those uh, very large cathedrals, they seem to be of a different time period because they're a different architecture style than many of the old world buildings. And to me, a lot of those old cathedrals almost have a darker look or a creepier. I mean, yes, they're very magnificent, awesome architecture. I don't disclaim that at all, but it's a different. It doesn't feel to me. It feels like more of a controlled thing, whereas most of the old world buildings with the huge doors and the openness inside is more of the mindset, which I see as God or spirit mindset of abundance and freedom and encouraging that self-expression in many ways and so I want to tune in this full moon um, once a month or blue moon podcast to restore the energy grid system. Part of that will be tuning in to that heart energy of source energy within each of us, and that was within the ancestors that created and dwelled in those buildings at one time that have had that mindset of God, so to speak, of everything being equal, of all people being equal, and different skills, different abilities, different responsibilities in lives, but equal and abundant and free and full of love and encouraging that self-expression of everyone. So to me, those are the six things that will be uh, integrating together and restoring and activating in those full moon podcasts to activate the old world energy grid system. So I'm excited about that. And I think let me just pause a moment and see if there's anything else that I need to I do. I need to speak about the energies today in August for Leo energies, which began the third week of July to about the 22nd, 20th to 22nd of August. And these energies in Leo are very much of taking leadership in our own lives, of taking that power of being king of the jungle, I guess, king of our own lives, manifesting those desires um, that are in our inner alignment. And that's where the universe works with us if we're bringing into alignment what our hearts, our spirit truly want, and what they're yearning for, in the self-expression that only each of us as an individual are meant to express in this world, because there's only one of us, as exactly who we are, that has the same exact perspective, the same, made of the same exact astrological energies, the same DNA. All those things are different for every person, like every snowflake is different. And this Leo energy is to express those, to bring them into fruition, to take that leadership of our own lives and bring those into perspective. And that's the energy that came to me through the download I received the other night of these changes that my inner self was really, really wanting, and for for me, and my next step in moving forward and letting spirit guide me more and more. And so that's the energies of Leo that we're in. And the energies then of this full moon add to that so much in the uh, gaining clarity and um, being into inner alignment, and welcoming that, activating that in our lives. And so I encourage each of you to take time to listen. And in fact, we're going to do that just now. Take a moment for each of us to take 2 or 3 deep belly breaths. Expel that tension from your bodies. Come into that groundedness with spirit. I always feel it. It almost makes me start crying. It's just an inner softness, attuning um, inside, instead of just in my mind about what my mind is going to do next, or what it's looking forward to tune into our heart space, our inner self. Listen to our spirit. When we tune into that inner self, it aligns. That's the alignment of the hemispheres of our mind. So they're in alignment, and the energy then of communication is clear between them, and we hear our spirit. And so let's just listen, each of us, to the spirit. And even if you don't hear anything, or some people can hear it a lot more easier. It is something we can all do, but it takes practice. It takes tuning in. It takes the intention, and sometimes it takes time to send a clear message to the universe that that's what we want, and we want it to speak to us, so that we can bring that into reality in our lives. And so we're just taking this moment to set that intention in motion for us, so that we can hear and listen. And the universe wants you to know that this time is for you, that all the energies of the universe, of the astrological cycles, as well as the nature around us, and of the heavens, or those in the oneness, the ancestors and angels and other high voltage energies that are always working in our favor. They want you to know that this time is for each of us, that this time is good and valuable and pleasant, and for our highest good. And so it's more than an encouragement. It's a soft, delicate plea for each of us to listen, to our inner self, to that spirit of God within us, as well as to any messages we would receive from our angels or higher selves, and tune into that as often as we can so that we can know those shifts that we are being called to make this month. Take a moment longer. And the changes that you're called to might be very simple. That um, things, habits that, or activities or schedules that you have in your life that are that you're not completely happy with. I'll share for mine that I was just struggling with this morning, and I realized, yeah, this is what I'm called to change. I don't know yet exactly um, how or when I'll bring it'll be soon. It'll probably be today. As soon as you know what you need to do, I think it's important to take your first step to put that into action because it solidifies it, encourages that, it acknowledges that you've heard your inner self, and it acknowledges that that's priority for you and that you're living a spirit in that and trusting that guidance, intuition of your inner self and of spirit. So I'll be taking a step today, just like I received this message for the podcast changes this week, and I put it into action immediately that next day in making changes and getting ready. And so my change that might be very simple for you, my change that um, I walk my dogs twice a day, which is good for them. They also have a fairly large pen that they can run in. But I take them out to give them a break from the pen, right? And I like to walk. I think it's important to get exercise, and so I do it for me. And so I take the dogs along. But the dog schedule and my what they like to do on a walk isn't necessarily what I like to do on a walk. And so it usually ends up I'm not getting the exercise I like. And then I'm too self aware of time and not when I can get back because I need to get on to the next thing or be back by a certain time for something else. And so it creates a tension when I'm walking my dogs as well as I have Australian shepherds, and I've known for since I started with them, they're not really made to be walking dogs. They're made to round up sheep and um, whatever else needs to be kept in alignment on the farm. And we live in town, and so I need to find a place that's convenient and easy and close for me to go to where I can let the dogs run several times a week, if not daily, and make that their routine. And then I can do my walking routines uh, by myself and do them as fast paced or as slow, or the places I need to go, and not do the frequent long stops sniffing everything totally along the way. And so a win-win situation while they're running and out in the pasture or in the fields or in the streams, I can use that for meditation. And so that's one shift in my life, as well as this podcast. And I'm sure there's other things too. And so I'm going to close there for today. And if any of you have thoughts or would like to share anything, feel free to drop the comment below or contact me through the my website, and I'd love to hear from you. So thank you very much for listening. I just pour out my intentions for each of you to have a wonderful, meaningful August and meaningful week in becoming more in alignment and making those shifts that you need to do so. So, thank you very much, and blessings to each of you. I'll catch you tomorrow night. I wanted to say that again tomorrow night for the mini tuning on Wednesday evening. I changed the time to 7 p.m. instead of 6 p.m. It'll work better in my schedule, but I also think it may work better for many of you. And then be sure to join me, and it's already posted on my channel. You can get the link there, just come back there, and or like and subscribe so you get the and notification so that you can get the reminder of it, that the full moon tuning of activating the old world energy grid system will be this Saturday, the 9th at 7 p.m. And come hold that intention with us, please. So, again, thank you all. Bye bye.